Good morning. It's a great day to be happy. I've got my happy sweatshirt on, and today is our official launch day. Yes, we are officially launching the Cinderella Monologues on Amazon. So grab your copy today. It's available for purchase on Amazon.com and Amazon.ca for our Canadian friends and authors. So please purchase your copy and support this amazing collection of stories featuring women who have overcome adversity to thrive. Oh my gosh. So we have been preparing all month long for this special day, and we are so thrilled to be able to have another author interview prior to our launch. Our launch is today from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. So what you want to do, just to keep in touch with all the events and activities going on, is join our Facebook group. Yes, so the link is on the screen. Please join the Facebook group. That is your go-to place. That is our gathering place for all the authors and all the wonderful supporters, family, friends, and associates coming together and participating in this amazing launch. So there will be wheel of names, and there will be prizes and lots of fun giveaways. So you definitely want to be a part of it all. So we invite you to come and join us on this Facebook group. Oh my gosh, so it's just really exciting. I have butterflies, I guess you can say, throughout my entire body, especially my stomach, because it's really just all coming together. And couldn't be more thrilled for so many of our authors and contributors of this book. So I'm so pleased today to dive into one of my favorite topics, and it's about working with children and working with young children, youths, and also having some playful imagination and creativity is one of my favorite topics. And I'm so pleased that one of our co-authors, Lori Blum Sugarman, is the imagination coach. She is a youth motivator, and she really weaves in lots of creativity and imagination in many of these school programs that she develops, helping children to uncover their voice and learning to read and write and building literacy. She's also an illustrator. So get this, she's not only a writer, but she's an illustrator. We're going to share with you her Instagram handle because she's got some amazing illustrations that you can all look into. And what else is she? She's also a speaker, a teacher. She's always invited to speak on conferences. So if you're looking for a next keynote speaker for your conference, please get in touch with Lori. But without further ado, please welcome Lori, and let's have her on the screen. So, ta-da! Hey, Lori, good morning.
Yeah, I want to take up what you just said and put it in a bottle and drink it every morning. You have such wonderful energy.
My pleasure. Give me a call. I'll leave you a voice message.
I will do that. I will do that. I will do that. I was thinking about Cinderella, and I was remembering that my first love, we're in a different time period now as far as societal shapings. But when I was 5 years old, I wanted to marry Mickey Mouse. I loved Mickey Mouse because he flew around the world and wanted to save the day. And I love the word I love the topic of our book. I love the title of our book, Cinderella Monologues, because if we're blessed in life to have our Prince Charming, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And sometimes we're blessed with that, and sometimes, not. And then people have to weave from that and, a lot of times rise out of adversity. So I'm quite inspired by so many of the stories that I read in this book. Such a good read.
Oh, there's a little bit of echo. Okay. Hang on one second. I'm going to call in my Restream support. One moment here.
Oh, that's funny. Yes. Someone's asking, did I mean Mickey Mouse? Yes, Mark Perman, I mean Mighty Mouse. I am here to save the day.
Awesome. Wonderful. And our topic today, too, is about, how do we keep Cinderella for all the ages, right? I mean, we've got Marilyn Atterbury, who's one of our esteemed authors in this collection, and she's an octogenarian. And then we have someone like you working with youths, right? Working with students, actually working with toddlers right from the start. I love that. I love that you do children's yoga and getting them prepared right from the start. So how do we keep this tale of Cinderella, relevant and timeless for all generations?
Well, you know, Cinderella is really within ourself. And again, sometimes society conditions us that our happiness is going to come when we find that perfect match. And, sometimes it comes and sometimes it doesn't come, or sometimes it comes and then it goes away. So, regardless, it's really, in my humble opinion, it's really important to find things in our own lives that are going to keep us engaged and purposeful and impactful, with our partner and, outside our partner. So I think that, always being hopeful and always being optimistic is kind of has been the key for me. A lot of that comes from how we're raised and how our parents influenced us. And I happen to have been blessed with very, my dad used to say joie de vivre, the joy of life, and he was one that always looked through rose-colored glasses. He never, if I came to him with a problem, he would stop me and say, "Lori, you got to see the world through rose-colored glasses." Like, he didn't want to deal with the minutia. He just wanted everything to be, happy and optimistic. So I think I got a lot of that. And I'm working now in an elementary school, as a school counselor, and so I feel really blessed that I get to work with about 500 kids this a week, and to just help them develop their emotional self and their positivity to, tackle life, whether it's, because somebody hurt your feelings and you're in second grade, or whether it's, because your parents have told you that you can't. So I feel really blessed that I'm able to, try to influence that mindset. Um, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I've been a hypnotherapist for about 15 years. So very um, I'm very sensitive to the suggestibility of children, and because children grow into adults who think they can or they can't. And from all the stories in the Cinderella monologues, it's amazing to see how many, women in the books just found a way to transition out of adversity and into a really impactful and good life ahead. So I was really moved by a lot of the stories.
Excellent. And yeah, I just love that you work with children and are able to introduce, play and imagination to them from the start. And I was looking through your website, and, how do you include like elements of singing and playing to help them with their learning development?
Well, children have to be open to what you have to say. And if you're boring, or you're giving them a lecture, they're just going to shut that little mind, just like we do when someone criticizes us, or is, they're the same, they're just littler. So singing always improves your mood, whether you're a kid or an adult. Singing just washes whatever is happening away. And, movement is just gets the endorphins flowing and everything like that. So laughing, as you know, Olivia and I just discovered that we're both laughter yoga facilitators. And so, that was a program developed by Dr. Madan Kataria in India, who developed a program just to laugh for no reason. And you gather people or children and just facilitate very silly exercises to laugh. And I know that we can all remember different periods in our life where you laughed your head off. And I went out to see my daughter in California, and I wanted to I was out there for about a month, and I wanted, for some reason, I wanted to memorize this song. I'm not going to tell you what it was, because it's a rappy song, and I just wanted to learn all the words. So I'd gotten the first verse, and I told her to record me. And she started recording me, and then I said, "That's enough," and she wouldn't stop. And we were screaming with laughter. She was getting up in my nose and in my eyes and in my tonsils. She would not stop. And it was exhausting, but so exhilarating, as you know, to laugh for like 10 minutes really hard. So it's a blessing to laugh.
It really is a blessing to laugh. I love that your dad shared that quote with you, the joie de vivre, enjoy life. And big shout out to all of our laughter peeps. Yes. Oh my gosh. So big shout out to them. Not only are you and I laughter facilitators, but so isn't Katie Mag. So Katie, if you've not had a chance to talk to her yet, but she's one of our co-authors. And so she does a lot
Yeah.
of laughter therapy with her patients. She works with mainly patients who are going through cardiac rehabilitation and teaching people stress management, right? So I have to ask, from one laughter facilitator to another, which one is your favorite laughter exercise? Because we're going to do it right now.
Um, well, I love everything with clapping, like ha ha ho 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 ha ha ho ho ho, and then just faster and faster and faster, because it just gets everything energized and moving. What about you, Olivia? What's your favorite?
I love the mental floss one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah.
So for those of you who are not familiar with mental flossing, it's great because sometimes we've got a lot of, like unforgiving, unsupportive thoughts appear, right? So it's time to floss that out. So we're going to wrap some floss around your fingers like so. And then we're going to thread it through your ears. So just keep on threading through the ears. Remember, you got to smile and laugh when you're doing it because it tickles. And then
Those
the string
ears.
the other side, right? So here you go. So now you've got the string coming through. And then we're just going to floss it out. Yes, this is live.
And the laughter just comes. Even if it's fake at first, it just starts to come. Because it's quite okay to be super silly.
All right. And now for the grand finale, right? You got to take it out, take it out, take it out. And then you got to look at it.
Ah! Ah!
Throw it away, throw it away. Oh, you're such a good sport, Lori. Very
Oh,
good. Very
very
good.
good. Very good. Yay!
Yay! One more time. Very
Very good.
good.
Very good. Yay!
Yay. All right. My kids just always get such a kick out of that, So,
How old are your kids?
so I'm associated with Harmony Mind Body Spirit Wellness. It's a nonprofit group here in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I live. And prior to me coming on board, they introduced a lot of like gentle yoga in the garden. So we have this amazing Jacksonville Botanical Gardens Arboretum here, and so it's public. It's open to the public, and we have free yoga classes. And then when I came on board, it was great because some of the adults who went to do yoga, they didn't know what to do with their kids, and so I would take their kids and we would do laughter yoga. So I would have activities and games, etc., with them, and then teaching them like the meditation and laughter exercises. And usually we have anywhere from like 3 years old up to 12. The 13-year-olds are too cool to laugh at this time. But yeah, the kids love it. Like they just know what to do. Well, I don't have to give any kind of instructions, right? But yeah,
It's beautiful.
exactly. So just going back to your chapter. Look at this. I've got my happy Facebook mark. So I was going through your chapter, and it just seems like there are many instances growing up where writing saved you. Like it was sort of like this like creative outlet for you. Can you speak more about that and how you wove that into your chapter?
Yes, and I'd like to speak also to parents just who are starting to raise children who are beginning to, their school life and everything. My parents forced us to write thank you notes to when we got birthday gifts and holiday gifts. And I'm the oldest of 5 kids. We were 6 years apart. So our house was always noisy and chaotic. And when I wrote, it just felt like I wasn't getting interrupted and I could express myself and I just liked it. So I think writing thank you notes helps to develop writing literacy starting when you're really young. And then um, just the normal kind of having boy crushes and being hurt and everything like that. It just helped me to write it. There was something about writing it that just got it out of my system. And then as I got, a little bit older, again, just kind of love heartbreaks. It just helped me flush it out. Um, I had bosses that were horrible, some bosses in work situations that were horrible. And I found that I could write the story and change the ending. And it released me from carrying the heaviness of whatever the episode was. And even in my motherhood, you know, I have three children. They're now in their 30s, and I'm happy to say that I survived three teenagers. And but I was on. I worked and I was at home, and I was worked and I was at home. So I was on and off for the first probably 10 years that I had the three children at home. And raising children is so hard, and being at home with them is hard. And I remember just writing either something they said or something that I said, and it just kind of broke the doldrums of being with young children all day long. Um, and sometimes I just find that when you're trying to describe something that you're observing and you hit it on the head with a word or a phrase, it's very rewarding. And it's just saved me through a lot of difficult emotional impasses, mainly in love and work and everything like that. And it's such a good outlet. And now with children being so bombarded with opinion and social media and comparison and everything like that, I think that it's a critical tool that children learn that writing is a tool where they can get things off their chest and they can discover the joy of weaving. When I was in fourth grade, I had a teacher, Miss Andrews, that let us free write once a week. And it was amazing because I just discovered that I had these stories in my head, my brain, that I had no idea they were there. And it's the same thing with writing, because I write children's stories. And it's the same thing with writing that. You start and you have no idea what the ending's going to be, but somehow it just magically comes. And that's the magic of writing. I mean, for me, some people might anticipate, but for me, I have no idea. It just comes out, and that's, to me, that's the magic of writing.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Lori, for sharing. And I hope parents who are watching this, will be inspired to encourage their children, to develop literacy early on. So
Yeah.
I'd love all of you to visit, Lori's website, because there's so many fun resources on there. I mean, who can resist this name, Plumdiggity? So can you share
Thank
with
you.
us just a little bit how did you come up with this name, Plumdiggity? Because it's sort of like your signature program on how you create
Mhm.
imagination and creativity for children.
Well, I reconnected with a friend that I've known for a long time, and it turns out that he's a really incredible musician. And so I don't know. I kind of had this idea to write these songs, these alphabet songs, A through Z, because I could write the words, and I knew that he could put them into really good melody. And he helped me tweak, and some of them we completely rewrote, some of them he wrote, some of them he tweaked. He's a pretty good wordologist, but definitely has great melody and a really good singing voice. So um uh I don't know, I think one day I'm Blum, my maiden name is Blum, and I think one day we are kind of kicking around, and Plumdiggity came out, I think. So, yeah, I can't exactly remember, but I think it had something to do with Blum and Plum and Plumdiggity. Hmm.
It's such a fun word to say,
Yeah,
Plumdiggity.
yeah. I've also written a 350-page. I took because I started these creative writing programs in after school in Atlanta, and I serviced, I don't know, a couple thousand kids. And so I did it for about 15 years. And so I took all the writing ideas and put them in a book, and that's called Plumdiggity developing student writers because I really want kids. It pains me. It pains me when a child says, I hate to write or I can't write. And, you know, you can. Your brain, if you say you can, you can. And if you say you can't, you can't. So, like Henry Ford said. So, you know, that book has a lot of really chock full of fun, I think, ideas and, you know, and everything. Because I want children to learn how to personally express themselves with written expression. So, but I'm glad you like the name.
I do indeed. Hang on one second, please. And speaking about children, have you heard of this website, Lori, called studenttreasures.com?
No, I haven't. You're on mute.
I would love for you to check it out. It's amazing.
Oh.
I recently just looked into it myself. And so here's the website link, studenttreasures.com.
Mm-hmm.
And so I recently connected with them because of the kids that I'm working with at Harmony through this nonprofit. And so get this, Lori, they have a full-on classroom kit in which you can write and publish the children's stories. And it's free for teachers. So might that be a good resource for the job that you're in right now? Because I'm waiting for my costume kit to arrive, and they have different themes, and you can submit your own theme if you like. If you've got a theme that you want to do at the school or with the students, you can submit a theme topic for them. But you get your choice of either portrait or landscape. You get your choice of either lined or unlined. And, you know, just invite the students to submit their artwork and their stories. And then we ship it off to this company and they will publish the book.
Incredible.
For kids.
Wow.
See it all in action.
Wow. I'm definitely going to check that out. That's an amazing resource, Olivia.
And it was one of those things that just like came into like my news feed. So I think because I'm in such like this high energy of like writing and publishing, right? You know, with these book projects and launching book projects for other people too and other book groups. And then it just came to me. And then why not have this introduced from the start with the kids? And so we're going to be doing things for Thanksgiving around the gratitude, right? So thinking about the gratitude jar. And then I'm going to have them published by Christmas. So it's going to be so exciting.
Oh, that is so awesome. I can't wait to check out that resource. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I can't imagine how it can be free because that's a lot of work, but however they do it, what a gift.
And if you go to their website, they actually tell you, you know, the whole process and why they make it free, you know, because again, it's they want to boost literacy, reading and writing literacy amongst the children. And, you know, it's completely free to get the classroom kit. And then the teacher, like you'll get the hard copy for yourself. And then the parents who wish to buy the copies, it's like $20, you know, to buy a copy for their kids. So it's amazing.
Thank you. I'm really excited to discover that. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So I'm waiting for my classroom kits. It's going to be my next project after Cinderella Monologues. So stay tuned. And you know, they even have a virtual version, Lori. So what we may want to do is like maybe hook up virtually and do like a virtual submissions, you know, for your students and my students and combine them together.
That would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just that. So it's on right there, Student Treasures, but it's one T only, so it's not two T's.
Okay.
StudentTreasures.com.
Got it.
And, you know, we're thinking about, you know, I love what you said about when you write, you can change the ending. You can use your imagination to reimagine new things, which is what we're doing with Cinderella, right? We're taking that story, we're reimagining her for ourselves. How can we identify with her? And how fun might it be for the kids to come with their own A to Z, A to Z characters, just like you did.
Yeah. You know, A to Z gives me a lot of foundation for just everything. I mean, why not? I mean, sometimes I wish there were only 5 letters because I am writing short stories for these to extend the songs, and there's 26 songs. So I'm on about the 9th story. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish there was only 5 letters to our alphabet. But, yeah, A to Z just gives you a good foundation to launch or to teach, or like social emotional growth, ABC, through Z, zesty. So I find even with the younger children, like kindergarten and first grade, I'm doing a lot of, letter introduction with writing the letter, but then doing a character word, from A to Z. So I appreciate the alphabet.
You're absolutely right. A to Z is a great foundation, and even in social media training, they teach that. So they say make a list A to Z, right? And anything, a word or phrase that's related to your topic or to your subject matter, think of the words that are related and make a social media post or write email newsletters from that concept. So A to Z comes in handy whether you're young or old.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I know that we have quite an age range in the Cinderella monologues. That also is very inspiring because it doesn't matter the age. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. And so I'm really grateful for you and Mila for, making this happen and extending all of us the opportunity to get our focus and hone in and get that 3,500 word story written. I'm really grateful.
You're most welcome. I mean, it's really Mila's brainchild, and I've just come alongside to kind of do this media piece of it, right? This is Lori's handle on Instagram. I'd highly encourage you to visit Lori and get to know her. And one of the posts I came across, Lori, which is so endearing, was that you came and talked about technology and how you're with your brother on this mountaintop and then calling your sister 3,000 miles away, and you couldn't believe it. And look at where you are now, from that first telephone call on a cell phone to now being video interviewed on this platform called Restream. You've come a ways.
It was incredible. It was actually on the Pacific Ocean. I was out to California for a wedding and we all just got our cell phones. My sister didn't come. And after we hung up, I'm like, David, that's my brother. David, do you realize that we're talking to this little black box 3,000 miles away? And, history is important. I was reading the kids a story about Levi jeans and how, the gold rush just had everyone running to California and told them 200 years ago there were no clothing stores. And, their clothes disintegrated. So how do you think we got our clothes? One person said, did you sew them? I said, yeah, you had to sew your clothes. And then they disintegrated. So you know what they used? They used barrels because flour and beverages were put in barrels because there were no refrigerators. So I showed them the barrels. And then it's interesting in the book, I mean, it was a children's book. It showed the picture of Levi Strauss strapping one leg of the jean to one horse and the other leg to the other horse to stretch the material. And because I've never noticed this, on Levi jeans, that same picture is on every single tag. So I told the kids the next time they're in Walmart, go to the jean department and look at Levi Strauss jeans because you'll see that picture shows the history of 200 years ago. So it's 2%.
Oh, we were talking about technology and we just lost Lori. Hang on one second while I attempt to bring her back. Well, thank you, Lori, so much for being on with us. It was fantastic just speaking with you. And I'm just going to close with one of Lori's quotes here. Hang on one second. Oh, it looks like she is here. All right. We'll give her another minute. Hang on one second here. Can you turn camera on is what I'm messaging Lori. Well, this is good that we have one more author interview. It's kind of like a rehearsal before the real launch that's happening very soon in the next hour. Okay, so she is here. She's got to turn the camera on. Right. And one of the things that I came across with Lori is this quote here. I'm going to put it on the screen. And it's that logic will get you from A to Z, imagination will get you everywhere. And I think that's so fitting of everything that we had discussed today. So look at that. We do have Lori back. So yay. Welcome back, Lori. We spoke too soon about
Thank
technology.
you. I ran out of time, right when we were going into technology.
Awesome. So you figured we'd end with this quote because this is a quote that you often cite. And, tell us a little bit more about this quote from Albert Einstein.
Well,
That love.
it's really to develop our imaginations. And, it's good to have good logic and good practicability. So to be able to visualize, imagine a you things to be, because it helps you create and get closer to that reality. It helps more to use your imagination to, visual, and if write poems or stories and everything, your imagination is the part of your brain that takes you out of the out and puts you into whatever it is that your mind and your mind can. All of the inventions, someone came up with the idea, why do we have a cord? I mean, all the wheel, everything in our civilization came from imagine something could be better or something didn't exist and we can. So that is why I'm a humongous believer in developing
Wonderful. Lori, thank you so much for just being on here with us. So we'll see more of Lori during the launch. So we didn't quite capture all the audio sayings that she had just now, but definitely we'll be having her back during our live stream launch, and we're going to fix her audio at that time. All right, excellent. So hopefully you enjoyed this author preview. So many excellent advice and wisdom for parents to help them with enjoying reading and writing as well too. So stay tuned for our afternoon launch. So check back here with our Facebook group. So this is where you want to be, Facebook group. And that's where all the action is today for the live stream launch. Thank you all for your support, and we'll see you then. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.